Hey, this is Paul Payton with Focal Splash, and today I am going to replace the background for this lovely young couple. This is Jack and Bonnie. They've been married 64 years, and this young couple's in their early 80s. We're going to have a little fun here. Their daughter really wanted a nicer background on this picture, so that's what we're going to try and do. So in Lightroom, the first thing I did was I went to the transform and put some upright guides in here. I used the bookshelf here and the windowsill and the floor to create a guide to make them flatter facing on. Some people may like that, some people may not. For our purposes, I think it's going to look nice. So then the next thing will be to go ahead and open it in Photoshop. Okay, and in Photoshop, she just wanted us to replace the background. We're not going to replace the carpet. We might clean it up a little bit, or the baseboard here. We're just everything that's above the baseboard, I think, is what I'm going to try to replace. I'm going to do some of this on speed edit, so if you see it speed up and me being quiet, that's because I don't want to bore you with intricate details here. So, first thing we'll do is go to the Quick Select tool and just start selecting on him. Hit the Alt key and tell it do not select this. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, and with that much selected, no, missed his head here. Alright, and with that much selected, I'm going to go ahead and hit Select and Mask. This is a fairly new feature in Photoshop, so I hope you have the latest. If not, there are other ways doing it. So I'm going to zoom in here, and with the brush tool for now, I'm just going to use negative, so I'm removing it, and just paint over here. And then I'm going to switch it to positive and paint in his ear. We can adjust the opacity of this over here so we can kind of see what's underneath the mask, get a better idea. Some people say use the pen tool. I agree if you're good with it. If you're not, well, do it like I do. I'm having a little bit of a hard time seeing, so, and the opacity will bring it down and up so we can see what's going on. Taking care of this because we are going to fill the background in here, and I don't want it to look weird. So whatever's not selected is going to be turned gray. I'm holding the Alt key down again. Make that white a little whiter. Alt key. Just tap there and hold the Shift key down and tap again, and it'll draw you a straight line. Okay, now I'm going to choose the Refine tool and make the brush about this big and just go over these edges that should need refined. That was a little bit harsh, so let's go Smooth, Smart Radius, and let's go back to the brush tool. And let's go back to black. Alright, let's see how the Refine edge works over here. Alright, so now looks like we have our selection made, and we're missing his shirt, so I'm going to go in here with the brush and paint it in. Silly. Anything else? See if anything pops up when we change the opacity. Doesn't look like it. Let's go to white. Alright, we're going to put this on a layer mask anyway, so we can adjust it later. There we have it. So now I am going to make a selection. Alright, on the layer mask, and make a marquee selection across here and fill it with white. That's Alt Delete. And what we did was we put this section back into the mask. So then we can go do this, and we'll grab this gray layer here, and I'll hit the Control J to put a layer up on itself. I'll put it a V key to move it over here, and we'll drop it right here. Okay, we have this. Control T, gonna blow it way up, just like that for now, and enter. We'll drop it in behind them, and we have them on a background now. So what I want to do with this layer is I do want to change this layer mask right here and zoom in down here. Alright, I will make this layer a little more invisible, and then we'll paint in here on this layer mask in white. Just trying to get the edge of the baseboard here. I'm going to have to fill that in, and like so. Alright, I'll just go ahead and get rid of this layer for now. Now we will use the clone stamp tool, get in here, make a selection, opacity to 100%, and I ask, why is it not completely covering that? And can't answer you the question, because I painted on this. Alright, further with the clone stamp tool. Alright, back to the clone stamp tool again here, and I'll just select right there, click right here. Alright, now in here, just going to grab from out here, zoom in. Alright, I'll put this back, bring the opacity back up, get rid of this right here. Put a curves adjustment layer over the top of it and clip it to it, and then we'll paint on the layer mask with a black radial gradient. So we'll go to that, and I'll just grab this right here and see what happens. Let's raise this. What I'd like to do is kind of brighten the middle and darken the edges. To do that, we'll lower it, but we'll click reverse right here, and that reverses the gradient like that. We'll make this nice and big as we want it. liking it. Just looking to put it right where I want it. Okay, I like that. And then we'll go ahead and crop this image in. All right. And there we go. Give a little bit more room down here. And of course, content aware crop sometimes will take pixels that you didn't want it to and do that to it. So let's go ahead and zoom in down here and fix that. Just clone stamp from right here. Just clone stamp that out. Right? It was never there. Alright, and over here. And that looks pretty good. So we get a piece of something here. Alright. So this is how I would replace the background here. Let's zoom in and take a look around the edges. We have this mask here, so if we don't like something, we can paint with black on it and just basically erase anything we don't like. You can see there's a little bit here. Stuff around the edges that didn't get got. You can also hit Command I, make a selection out of that. With the selection, go to Modify, Contract by 1 pixel and hit OK. And then invert the selection by hitting Command Shift I and then Alt Delete. And that fills the outer selection with black, and that should have gotten rid of that line. Hit Control D to deselect, and you'll see that that extra line is gone. And the selection looks really good. It's not quite so good down here. Oh, his pants are really messed up. I'll fix that. And she's looking pretty good. Alright. Let's go ahead and on the layer mask here, we'll paint with black. Just remove this from the selection. And Command 0. Alright, well, I think I'm done. If you like what I did, leave me a comment. If you don't like what I did, leave me a comment. And if you would like for me to use one of your images for a tutorial, let me know. So we have before and after. Before and after.